thanks for watching the video. If you could do me and the channel a favor, hop down to the comment section and let me know what decks you guys want me to make next. And while you're down there, if you could drop a like and subscribe, it'd help out a lot. With that being said, enjoy the video and have a great day. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going over a Palafin Pecharunt deck. Now, I did already make a Palafin video, but that was just Palafin and Dunsparce. So today we are going over the Pecharunt build here, which abuses the Weavile and Morpekos that are belonging to the Darkness category. And it's just a very interesting take on the deck. It's a little harder to set up, but it is so powerful once you do get it set up. Unfortunately, my last recording did, I don't know, the file got corrupted or something, and so I am recording this for the second time. So please be patient if I do stutter or say anything wrong, etc., etc. Anyway, we do play 4 copies of Finizen in here, just the 1 retreat, 70 HP, so 70 HP obviously can be grabbed with that Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We have 3 copies of Palafin with 0 to hero, which is when this Pokemon is in the active and moves to the bench, you can search your deck for our main attacker and switch it with that Pokemon. So this main attacker is Palafin EX. It has a whopping 340 HP and can deal 250 damage for 1 energy. The only thing is, the only way to get it in play is with that 0 to hero ability. So we do have 3 copies of that, and we do have 1 copy of the Obsidian Flames Palafin. This is for things like, drawing a blank, excuse me. This is for things like Cornerstone Ogerpon and for Mimikyu, as well as 210 with that Justice Kick is just enough to take out a bunch of support Pokemon, so really nice to have in here. Jet Punch is really just 30 to the active, 30 to one of the benched Pokemon. And so that's the line for our main attacker. We do have a 1-1 of Dunsparce and Dudunsparce. So as we went over in that previous Palafin video, Dunsparce itself has free retreat, and Dudunsparce shuffles itself back into the deck. So we don't have to worry about this getting trapped into our active spot and not being able to use our Palafin. And Runaway Draw is really the only draw in this deck. Once during your turn, you may draw 3 cards. Drawing any cards this way, you shuffle this back into the deck. So really nice there. Now, as for the Pecharunt tech that we are including, so Pecharunt itself, we do play 2 copies of them. It is in here for its Subjugating Chains ability, which once during your turn, you may switch 1 benched Darkness Pokemon from your bench to the active spot. The new one becomes poisoned. That's okay, because we're going to be retreating it anyway, unless we're in a really tough position and we just need to use it as a sacrifice. So he's in there for that. Now, we do have our Morpeko, obviously. So he's a Dark-type Pokemon, so he can get pushed forward with Pecharunt's ability. And in a Hungry Hurry, when he has no energy attached, he has no retreat cost. So obviously we can just Pecharunt him forward and then retreat him into our Palafins and make things work that way. Or the other option is this Weavile, which the Sneasel has free retreat. Again, an option for that. And then the Weavile has Assaulting Hunt, excuse me. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active, so when you use Subjugating Chains, you may switch in one of your opponent's benched basic Pokemon to the active. And then we throw a Rescue Board on this, retreat it into our Palafin, and then we can take out whatever support Pokemon they start to try and set up. So really, really nice in here. It acts as a boss every turn for their support Pokemon. And that's it for Pokemon. So we're going to move on to trainers here real quick. We got 4 copies of Ultra Ball, finding our Pokemon, as well as discarding our Palafins if they are stuck in our hand, and we can Super Rod them back in, because as we went over previously, Palafin EX does not want to be in our hand. It needs to be in our deck in order for 0 to hero to trigger. So, yeah, we got to keep this out of our hand, basically. 2 copies of Switch, in case we can't get things going right away or very well with the Palafin and the Pecharunt tech. We can use these switches to just kind of accelerate the process and get it going while we're setting that up in the background, basically. 1 copy of Jacq. Search your deck for 2 evolution Pokemon. I mean, since this deck has so much more setup, we absolutely need this. This will grab Weaviles and our Palafins here. Sometimes it'll grab our Dunsparce, so we can get that extra draw, but more times that's what it sticks to. 1 copy of Defiance Band, so if we're behind in prize cards, that Palafin's going to be hitting for 280 damage, which fixes a lot of matchups that it's just barely missing out on right now. We got 2 copies of Earthen Vessel. Discard a card and search your deck for 2 basic energies. We only need the 1 energy, 2 if we're using Justice Kick in order to attack with this deck, but we need to have the energies, so we're going to be able to search those out if and when we need them, or we can just use these vessels as discard fodder. We do have 3 copies of Buddy-Buddy Poffin. This is for the setup because we can grab Sneasel, we can grab Morpeko, we can grab Dunsparce, and more importantly, we can grab those Finizens. So just great setup, gets everything going right away, hopefully. 2 copies of Iono, so great hand reset, gets Palafin EXs that are in our hand to the bottom of our deck, as well as it disrupts our opponent a little bit. 2 copies of Kieran, so this acts as a switch, or we can deal 30 more damage to your opponent's active EX or V Pokemon. So again, that 30 more damage fixes a lot of matchups for us, or we can just use it to switch. 1 copy of Gravity Mountain, so most of the stage 2s in the game have like 320 HP or 330 HP, stuff like that. So Gravity Mountain brings them down to usually 300 or below that, and our A spec is going to be max belt, so we're going to put that combo together here in a second. We do have 1 copy of Practice Studio as well, so stage 1 Pokemon deal 10 more damage. That puts us up to 260 with no other modifiers, which there are plenty of in the deck, obviously. So that 260 is, the one that comes to mind right away is going to be Goldango. And then I think there's a few more that are going to work and be able to hit with that Practice Studio in play. 1 copy of Night Stretcher in here. So the recovery is super important in this deck. We have 2 Super Rods and 1 Night Stretcher. So if we have to discard something to either get it out of our hand, like that Palafin EX, and recycle it that way, or if we just, like, say, need 1 energy in the moment, or whatever the cause may be, maybe we lose our Morpeko, something like that. We have 1 Night Stretcher and 2 Super Rods for that purpose. So the recovery is very important in this deck. And so I feel like, yeah, the 2 Super Rods and 1 Night Stretcher seems to be a right fit. Now our A spec is going to be Maximum Belt. Attacks used by this Pokemon do 50 more damage to your opponent's active EX Pokemon. So again, pairing this with Gravity Mountain, you're knocking everything out with that Palafin 1-hit KO. So really beautiful to have this in here. Partners super well with Palafin, just reaching things that were unable to be reached before. And in case we can't find our max belt, we have plenty of those other damage modifiers that you guys got to see beforehand. Moving on, we got 2 copies of Perrin. Reveal 2 Pokemon in your hand, put them into your deck, and search your deck for 2 Pokemon. This is up to 2 Pokemon, and equal to the amount that you shuffled in. It's really just to get the Palafin EXs out of our hand, but we can use it in other situations. Say we already have our Palafin set up, and we have a Finizen in hand that we have no purpose for. We can just shuffle that guy back in for a Dunsparce and get some draw. Maybe if that's our only supporter in hand, but that's really what it's for, is getting the Palafins out of our deck, or out of our hand. 3 copies of Nest Ball. We really need this to get our Pecharunts on board, as well as, I mean, we can grab everything else that we can with the Buddy-Buddy Poffins, but it's just more options, so we don't find ourselves getting stuck with donks so much, because we do want to go first with this deck. We have 2 copies of Rescue Board in here. This is because we got to stick that on the Weavile. We promote it with the Pecharunt, use its ability, then we can retreat with it and use Palafin's attack. So we got to have the Rescue Board on there, otherwise we have to attach and manually retreat every turn. 1 copy of Boss's Orders, just the 1. Because Weavile basically works as a boss, but again, it's only with basic Pokemon. So if our opponent recognizes what's going on, or they like recognize the deck as soon as they see the Weavile, something along those lines, they might be hesitant in playing those support Pokemon. And so if we just need to take out evolution Pokemon, that Boss's Orders is going to be the way to go. And then we have 4 copies of Arven, finding our items, obviously for setup, and then finding our tools. This is getting Max Belt, Rescue Board, just so much that we need. And then we only play 7 water energy, and that's the whole deck. So we got a lot of moving pieces here, but it pieces together really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into a playtest, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I went ahead and hopping into that playtest here for our Palafin and Pecharunt deck. See how this goes. Now with this particular deck, you are going to want to be going first, just because we have so many various Pokemon that need to evolve, like our Weavile and Palafin, obviously. So we do prefer first, but second isn't so bad for us because we do play a lot of supporters in this deck. So due to it being so supporter heavy, we're fine going second. Looks like our opponent won the coin flip, and we will be going first. Alright, let's see what we get here. My guess is Miraidon because they got electric sleeves, they chose second. So Buddy-Buddy Poffin is definitely going to be our friend, otherwise we'd be looking at a turn 1 donk here, most likely. I mean, it's not a terrible starting hand. We can make this work. No supporters. Which, I mean, as long as we get a top deck. It is Raging Bolt. Okay. Very interesting. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and Buddy Poffin here. We're going to grab one Finizen. Probably Morpeko. Let's see all what's prized real quick here. So we have our Dunsparce here. We have Palafin. Ooh! 2 Palafin EX are prized. And our Sneasel is prized. So this is an interesting one. One Perrin. Okay. Alright. So yeah. I think we almost want to go We'll go with the Morpeko here. That way we can find our Pecharunt, promote it, and retreat in that order. And we'll get the attachment for turn. I think we're going to the bench because it's very likely that they take knockout here. We'll just pass with that. See what they piece together here. Interesting. Raging Bolt with Energy Search Pro. I gotta say, that's a new one. I've not seen that before. Yeah, I've pretty much only seen that card in Goldango decks, obviously. I don't know why they wouldn't just play like Prime Catcher or Precious Trolley. Alright. Yeah, attach for turn. See if they can pull this off. They still need this card inside. They got plenty to do and plenty to go, so. Unless they don't have it and they're just gonna go for a Burst Roar. That's very possible. Yep, dang. Oh, they probably should have squawked, I'm being honest. They might have not wanted to put the 2 prize liability down, which makes a bit of sense. So yeah, Arven here. We do get knockout here. Arven for Nest Ball is going to be grabbing us that guy. And then we'll go ahead. We'll grab the Max Belt. Actually, we'll grab a Rescue Board. Just because we take knockout anyway, and we don't want to really reveal that Max Belt right now. I think we're going to get rid of... I should have done it in that order. We're going to dump the Switch because we got the Pecharunt Morpeko going. And, yeah, we'll get rid of Rescue Board for now because we're not going to be getting that Weavile for a minute. So, grab that Palafin here. Vault here. Do attach for turn. Subjugating Chains up our Morpeko, so that's going to trigger our 0 to hero here. Yes, I would like to use it. Grab that 1 Palafin EX. Hopefully our prize cards are lenient. Free retreat our Morpeko because it does not have any energy attached. And right now, we're just going to go for knockout there. There's no sense in playing anything else right now. If anything, we can use that practice studio for discard. See what we get here. Hoping for a Sneasel and a Palafin, and we get neither of those things, so it's okay. We're in a pretty good spot. I mean, he needs to attach for turn and Sada, and he's got to discard, I believe, 5. Yeah, he's got to discard 5 to get knockout on our Palafin. Which, if he does, then we're gonna be in a pretty uncomfortable spot, unless we can find ourselves a Super Rod here. And even then, this is gonna be kind of tough. Yeah, having all those Palafins prized is obviously not ideal. We do have the Pecharunt and Morpeko, so we can get going with that. And he might also not get all the way up to 5 prize cards. Or 5 energy to discard, excuse me. He's got 2 in discard. Oh, did he? Oh, you have to leave one of those for Sada. Might have been a misclick. Yeah. Or they just... maybe they're new to the deck. It's very possible. So thankfully we don't have to worry about that Bellowing Thunder this turn because they did burn their Sada to put a grass on their Bolt. So we're in a really nice position here. We're going to get knockout on this Raging Bolt here. We'll see what else they can throw together before they pass it back. And it looks like even if they had got that, put the right energy on for the Sada, I don't think they would have had 5 to discard. Alright, they're gonna attach for turn and probably go for the Burst Roar. Or they'll just pass. Pokemon Catcher. Okay, so they're looking to stall me a little bit. They fail it anyway. Install wouldn't work because Pecharunt, Morpeko retreat into whatever. So, yeah, I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish with that. Or maybe they didn't even realize that they didn't put an electric on, and they were like, yeah, I'll go to knock out the Pecharunt. Horrible misplay on their part. But that's okay, we'll take that. They wouldn't have had knockout on our Palafin EX anyway. Which is what it needs to be right now. Yeah, I think they realized the error of their ways. We're just kind of banging their head there. Perrin. Yeah, I think we are gonna Perrin that guy. And, oh yeah, they gave up. They had too bad of a misplay. They just decided to scoop it there. I mean, fair enough. Okay, that was nice, short and sweet. I think we can hop into another one here. We did get set up pretty nicely there, so I am happy about that. Alright, we'll hop in here. Okay. I hear stuff going on in the background, but I don't see anything. Did my game just crash? Oh no, there we go. Just a little bit of lag. Okay. Oh, I like that coin. Very nice, very nice. Oh, that's so cute. The face on the front, tail on the back. Too cute. I'm not sure where that's from. If you guys know, comment down below. Where's that coin from? And I will be going first, so that's okay. We'll take that. We'll take that. Oh man, really nice sleeps. And we do only have a Nest Ball. Top deck Buddy Poffin would be phenomenal here. So please, please, please. Because we got to get a little bit better setup. Our opponent chose second, so the chances of them having some kind of turbo deck are pretty high. I mean, it's obviously not a new player. These are from 2019, these sleeves. Alright. We see Tealmask Ogerpon. So this could be Raging Bolt. Regidrago would have wanted first, so I don't think it's that. We are going to Nest Ball. I think we're just going to grab a backup Finizen, because we're not really in a position to do much else. We're not going to drop the Ultra Ball then. We're just going to pass there. We could have Ultra Balled and gone for some other basic to set up with, but I'm gonna hold them, hope for a Palafin this next turn. And I mean, the only things we would have grabbed were either the Dunsparce or Sneasel, and I'm not sure how this matchup is really gonna go. Since they're playing the Tealmask Ogerpons, we might go for the Obsidian Flames. Okay, so it is Raging Bolt. Okay. So he's probably going to get knockout here on our Finizen. Okay, he did play Arven, so we don't have to worry about Sada this turn, thankfully. Very fortunate in that sense. So yeah, we are just going to go for the normal Palafins here in the Raging Bolt matchup. We could go for the other Palafin, the Obsidian Flames Palafin, and then we could use Weavile to get into their Ogerpons, but it just makes so much more sense to just go straight onto the Raging Bolts. Now, since he grabbed that Bravery Charm, we are going to have to Maximum Belt in order to take knockouts here. So that puts them at 290. suppose if we're behind in prize cards, we could Defiance Band and Practice Studio for knockout as well. Or Kieran. There's a few ways that we can hit 290, but Max Belt is obviously the easiest of them. Requires the least amount of pieces. He put the Bravery Charm on his Teal Mask, so I think he's planning to leave it in the active right now. Interesting. Or maybe he plays a penny and he didn't want it to get discarded. Very possible as well there. It's another Teal Mask in play. So he's putting down a lot of easy targets for us to hit. So even if he does stick Bravery Charms on his Raging Bolts, we're gonna have options with that Weavile, which I totally forgot to check prizes off Nest Ball, so hopefully that doesn't bite us in the butt here. Yep, and he did have to use that Arven first turn, so we don't have to worry about our donk going on, because they can't get the energy out. Now we see one Lost Vacuum. I imagine he only plays one Lost Vacuum, so we don't have to worry about our Max Belt getting thrown out. But, I mean, since he has 3 Teal Masks in play, he's probably just going to be able to get knockouts on our Palafins, unfortunately. Because he needs 5 energy that way, so Sada plus 3 Teal Masks gets him there every time. That's not even including his attachment for turn, so... Yep, just getting the teal dances all around the board. He put his energy onto Squawk. He might be looking to motivate here, just to get that energy going for his Raging Bolts, which, I mean, since he recognizes that he had to Arven turn 1, that might actually be a good idea. It does put a 160 HP Pokemon in the active, but judging by our hand, we might not be able to get there. We still don't have any energy. Yep, he's going to switch into the Squawk and go for the Motivate. Okay. And my opponent is also playing Max Rarity, so definitely been at this for a bit longer than I have. Is it 2 in any way you like, or 2 to 1 of your bench Pokemon? So yeah, he is going to charge up one of his Raging Bolts here. Okay. And Iono. Interesting. So I think I'm starting to wish that I checked my prizes. We're going to be ahead in the prize trade if we get knockout here, which there's a very likelihood that we will. So we're going to dump those 2. Alright, Dunsparce lines. 1 Finizen's missing. We're going to grab you. 1 Palafin's missing. Weavile is missing. That's a big one. Don't love Weavile being gone. Do we play? No, we only played. No, we do play 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin. So 1 of those missing. Okay. 1 energy's missing. I mean, obviously, I missed a couple of things. We're gonna go on the active here. We are going to Iono away our Max Belt. We're fine with that, because we're not going to be using it this turn. We'll be able to Arven it out in future turns. Oh, that's tough. That's rough. Okay. Dang. Okay, I think we just have to go here. And we're going to hold the energy, because if we play it on our bench, he might just boss that and go for knockout. Oh, we're in such a bad spot. We only have 1 Palafin EX left in deck because 1's prized, so if we top deck this next turn, if we get that Palafin, the game might just be over right then and there. So chances are he's going to be going for knockout. He's going to be switching out of his Squawk, but yeah, there's no reason really for him to use Squawk anymore. He might actually Turo or Penny it up just to get that prize liability gone. And he no longer needs to Sada either, because he was able to use Motivate. He's just going to get his teal dances in. He's going to draw his cards and see what's going on. And he has so much energy to discard. Something's telling me we're not coming back from this. Yep, retreating into that Raging Bolt. Into the Teal Mask. Interesting. Is he gonna attach for turn and go for knockout that way? Love when I can't see the card. Yeah, he's gonna energy switch a grass onto his Teal Mask and go for knockout that way. So I guess he's saving his Raging Bolts for now. Or maybe he recognizes Palafin only hits for 250 and he's gonna use... Well, I don't know. Very interesting. Yeah, it looks like he's planning on using his Teal Masks here as his primary attackers throughout the game. Which is a bit different and actually kind of problematic. So... Yeah, I don't have tons of confidence in this one. And I was really hoping we'd be able to get knockout last turn, but we just kind of drew terrible stuff off that Iono. I mean, really just horrible. We're gonna have to attach and retreat. I suppose I probably should have attached so that I could attach retreat this next turn, but I can rely on Switch or Morpeko Pecharunt. Our Weavile being prized is gonna hurt us, no doubt. If we even get that far in the game. You know, there's a chance that we just don't get anything off this top deck and that's game. Because we need a way to get Pokemon in play, or he's just gonna take a turn, kill this Palafin, next turn kill that Palafin. Puts Future Capsule to put his Raging Bolt up to 300 health. So he plays Bravery Charms for the Ogre Pawns and Future Capsules for the Teal Masks. Yeah, he can just do whatever he wants because he's sitting pretty. He's literally seen twice as much of his deck as we have ours, so... Are we gonna... Let's see if we get anything of use, otherwise that's game right there. And it's a water energy. So yeah, I mean that's just how it goes sometimes. That's card games. And that's kind of why I wasn't a big fan of the Palafin Pecharunt build. I don't know, it feels like more times than not I'm unable to get a lot of the pieces I need, or in this specific scenario, any of the pieces I could have used to even be kind of playing the game. So yeah, I mean that's the deck. I'm gonna have to recommend you guys to the other Pecharunt deck, which I'm not sure where it is, unless I accidentally deleted it. Let's just take a scroll through here real quick. There it is, Palafin EX. I don't know why it was, oh, because I was typing in Pecharunt. So this is the other list. There's another video up on my channel that I prefer this list significantly more than the Pecharunt build, but there you go. Alright, thank you all for watching and have a great day.